From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
Good afternoon and thanks for joining us on the Noon News. I'm Diane Parker. Jason Stiff has our forecast, plus wild horses in Wyoming are the subject of controversy. But first, our top story. A special school board meeting is scheduled in Lame Deer tonight to address accusations the superintendent pepper sprayed a 12-year-old student last week. Now, last night, Superintendent Teresa Keel met with a group of about 50 parents, telling them she's been advised by lawyers to say nothing. The alleged victim's grandparents claim the girl was taken to the ER with swelling in her face caused by mace. Keel confirms to MTN there was an incident of some sort, but denies using pepper spray.
The legal counsel is seeking an external investigator, someone not within the community or the board or me, to look into the situation so that the truth of that situation comes out.
She's crying over there, and I said, where? And she was down the hallway. So I go down, and she says, you better go check on her. So I say, okay. So I went down and checked on my granddaughter, and she was putting eye drops in her eyes.
Tonight's special board meeting is scheduled for 5:30. Many parents are calling for Keel to be suspended. A 21-year-old Bozeman man appeared in Gallatin County Justice Court this morning facing 37 counts of criminal endangerment. According to charging documents, Andreas Mejia Ocampo was arrested late Friday night after entering Interstate 90 the wrong way at the 19th Street exit in Bozeman and traveling in the passing lane for approximately 8 miles, passing 37 cars and trucks. A Montana Highway Patrol trooper was able to stop the man just west of Belgrade.
We are seeing a number of them. I think we went probably one a week all spring for about 2 months. We've had a number of pretty horrific crashes, a few fatalities as well. It's been absolutely a problem in this community. Typically, you're not going to have a lot of time to react. And so what you obviously call 911 if you see it happening. If you can flash your lights at them possibly to get them to turn around if you have enough time to think about that. But for the most part, make sure that you're safe. And at some point, hopefully the person realizes they're going the wrong direction and turn around. It's happened before. We oftentimes have them pull over to the side of the road. Typically, if it's someone that's sober, they will recognize it right away. But for the most part, if they're intoxicated, it may take quite a bit longer.
His next court appearance is set for December 15th, and his bond was set at $10,000. New this noon, a group of Montana lawmakers want a special session early next year to address property tax increases. The Montana Freedom Caucus, a group of staunchly conservative Republican lawmakers, formally requested a session for January 15th. It comes in response to a state Supreme Court ruling stating counties did not have the authority to charge homeowners less than the state required 95 mills on school equalization taxes. The Freedom Caucus wants to adopt the county's view and cap the number of mills the state charges based on inflation. The Secretary of State's office plans to start mailing ballots to lawmakers by the end of this week. It will require yes votes from a majority of the legislature to call a special session. Well, we've been following the housing crisis in Whitefish, and one of the big concerns from citizens is the amount of housing taken up by short-term and vacation rentals. Now, city officials are exploring how to remedy the issue. Whitefish City Council voted unanimously in November to create a new position that would focus on enforcing short-term rental laws. The city reports about 705 short-term rentals within Whitefish. Of those, 374 are legal, registered short-term rentals, and 331 are unregistered illegal units. The definition of a short-term rental is any dwelling renting out rooms or a full unit for less than 30 days. Whitefish has zones where short-term rentals can be located within city limits. This new job will hopefully crack down on short-term rentals outside of these zones. As this is a new idea and a new position, the city is working to create a job description. You think hunting season is over? Well, not if you're hunting gnomes. It is open season for gnome hunting in the mining city, and organizers for the annual Butte Christmas Stroll are calling on the community to head out Friday to find 5 little gnomes hiding in uptown Butte businesses.
Christmas Stroll is an opportunity for Clearwater to engage in the community and bring some joy and happiness into somebody's life during the holiday season.
The little gnomes were created by a Montana artist for the stroll. If you can find a gnome, you can bring it to Clearwater Credit Union to receive a $100 gift card. If some of the gnomes evade capture on Friday, the hunt will last through December. And that's a look at some of the day's top stories.
A good Tuesday afternoon, everyone. The scope is fairly clear as we look at our Doppler radar around the state. A couple clouds here and there, but we've also had some more blustery weather, some breezy to locally windy weather, and you can tell temperature-wise where we have the breezy to windy weather occurring. Right now it's 44 degrees in Livingston, 49 degrees in Jordan, 51 in Lewistown, but it's only 24 in Missoula and 23 degrees in Kalispell. And the central and eastern parts of the state, that's where we have the greatest increase compared to yesterday's temperatures. Upwards of 15 degrees warmer than it was just 24 hours ago. But these gusty wind, they still continue. Gusts of 51 miles an hour in Livingston thus far. 32 in Billings. Going to let you know what's coming for the next 7 days coming up in just a few minutes.
In Wyoming, wildlife officials are working to manage wild horse populations, rounding up a number of them this week in order to thin a herd down to a legal limit. But as MTN's Jackie Coffin reports, this latest roundup in McCullough Peaks isn't happening without a fair share of controversy.
People come from all over the country to the McCullough Peaks management area to see wild horses. They're tucked away up in those sagebrush hills. And while wild horses might seem like an icon of Wyoming in the American West, their relationship and management here is actually very complex.
There's just something about it. It's so peaceful and calming, and it's just beautiful.
When Sandy Sisti looks across the rangeland, she sees a wildness that brought her to the West.
They're so beautiful, it could almost bring tears to your eyes.
Sharing this experience has become her passion.
In the distance, I see Lanza's band.
The horses, a herd of about 175, have been roaming this area for a very long time.
They were used to construct the tunnels, go into the North Fork heading towards Yellowstone.
Toffee, where are you, girl?
Today, Sisti is taking me to see them, an experience that can be bumpy and awe-inspiring.
Oh my God.
The McCullough Peaks herd, like other wild horse herds across the West, is managed by the Bureau of Land Management, and the size of these horse herds is set by law.
On all public lands that we do have wild horses roaming, we have an act called the Wild Free Roaming Horse and Burro Act of 1971 that we have to abide by.
Meaning when the herd gets too big, the BLM must bring down their numbers with non-lethal practices.
We're not trying to phase them out. We're really just trying to keep them within their appropriate management level.
Capture practices have at times sparked controversy from those who want to see the horses stay.
People and horses have been intertwined throughout civilization. So it really is just something that I think we should preserve.
The BLM says the practice of removing some animals and adopting them out keeps the herd and the rangeland healthy.
A ton of research has shown that once we do go above our established AML, appropriate management level for the herd areas, we do begin to see a degradation of the rangeland.
No helicopters will be used in this roundup, and the BLM aims to remove about 35 horses from the area, a number that was adjusted after public feedback.
When they take these horses, which I'm pretty sure they will, it's gonna break my heart, and I'm trying not to get all teary-eyed. But it's not about breaking my heart, it's about them. It's about their freedom.
Near Cody, Jackie Coffin, MTN News.